Hey, once again, we are back. But this time, this is for an episode of the Carolina Panthers Talk live here on the U to the Tube, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host for this evening, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, let's talk offensive coordinator candidates for the Carolina Panthers. We need one for next season. Our season's over. We finished 5-12. We fired Joe Brady. Just wasn't good. Jeff Nixon finished out the season as offensive coordinator, but Carolina is going to be on the hunt for a new offensive coordinator. So I wanted to dedicate this video just to talk about offensive coordinator candidates. Who do y'all believe are good candidates? Who do you believe we should go after? So I wanted to mention some names that I feel are kind of intriguing. And, some are actually pretty popular names that have kind of come up on different videos, different discussions from others, and just different analysts and stuff like that. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to chat with y'all and kind of discuss the offensive coordinator situation for the Carolina Panthers. So I just wanted to get started and, just start naming some names and just kind of, talking about each one as they're named. And by all means, at any point in time, I would love to hear your thoughts and also throw out some names that you would love for Carolina to really zone in and try to get for offensive coordinator for next season and perhaps beyond. I'm going to tell you right now, one of my top choices to go for when it comes to offensive coordinator, and this is just my honest opinion, because to be honest with you, as much awesomeness as it would be to get Eric Bieniemy, I don't see it happening, because I feel like he's going to be mainly going for head coaching vacancies. And it's already been decided that Matt Rule will be the head coach for the Carolina Panthers next season. It is what it is. Ain't nothing we can do about it, but that's just the way it is. He's had 2 bad seasons, only 10 wins total to his career, and we're going to have him for a 3rd season. I mean, it is what it is, but that's the decision. So because of that, I don't really see Eric Bieniemy, us getting him for offensive coordinator. As awesome as that would be, I see him going more for head coaching positions. Same thing with Byron Leftwich. Successful with offensive coordinator, but he's mainly going to be interviewing for head coaching positions. So I really think the chances of us landing either of those two are slim to none. Just flat out slim to none. But anyway, a candidate that I would really, really strongly consider would be Jim Caldwell for offensive coordinator. That could potentially, if things don't go well for Matt Rule in this 3rd season, Mr. Caldwell could be the replacement. Because you have to look at it like this. Jim Caldwell has had some success. And, one of the things that really stood out was he's been the best coach that the Detroit Lions have had. And he's done really well with them. He has a lot of offensive coordinator experience. Also, he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Here's my thing. I don't know if he'd be necessarily willing to take an offensive coordinator position, or if he's more inclined for a head coaching position. There's that. And then there's also the fact that he's 65 years old. So he is up there in age. And he has dealt with some health issues. But aside from that, I feel like this man deserves a shot. And I think he would be a great addition to really help out this Carolina Panthers offense really get going. Because the offense has been abysmal this season. It's been abysmal. So I really feel like Jim Caldwell would be a great candidate to really help get this offense back on track. And not only that, just with the head coaching experience as well, I feel like he brings a lot to the table. I feel like he brings a lot to the table, and he knows how to win. I just feel like he deserves another chance, especially considering that the Detroit Lions fired him when they had a winning record. Makes no sense, but they fired him when they had a winning record. Something that the Detroit Lions normally don't see. So why not take advantage of the opportunity to make things right? I say, why not go after Jim Caldwell? Like I said, there are the disadvantages of his age. You know, he's had some health issues. But I believe that he's a great candidate for not only offensive coordinator, but if things don't work out at head coach with Matt Rule, he could be ushered in to be head coach. And Matt Rule can be out of there. So I would love the idea of Jim Caldwell as a candidate for offensive coordinator. Now, another name I wanted to mention is Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey, currently with the Buffalo Bills as quarterbacks coach. Somebody who has worked with the Carolina Panthers. Of course, you know, he was quarterback coach, helped coach up Cam Newton, and he's also working with Josh Allen. And it's a young guy. Ken Dorsey, 40 years old. Like I said, somebody that has experience, you know, working with the Carolina Panthers. My thing is the talent. Being that we have Sam Darnold, how much would he be able to help Sam Darnold? I feel that he's qualified, but it's Sam Darnold. But like I said, I feel like with Ken Dorsey, I felt like he's done enough to be given an opportunity as an offensive coordinator. And, you know, when you look at how things are now, I mean, the Bills, they just destroyed the Patriots, so they're moving on. But I like Ken Dorsey, and I feel like he can bring something to the table at offensive coordinator. It's just the whole thing just with Sam Darnold just really bothers me a little bit. Would he be able to really turn things around for him? Because quarterback's a big part of the offense, right? So it'll be interesting. Hey, Vietnam 26, welcome. Good to see you. Hope you've been doing well. I would love an offense that's not afraid of going deep and attacking the end zone once we reach our opponent's 40 or 30-yard line. I would love that too. But I think a big part of that is going to have to come to play calling and our offensive line being able to hold strong. That's the only thing. Dorsey might be good, but I don't want that old Fox offense. Run first down, run second down. Now it's 3rd and 12, and we throw it. Here's the thing, though. I think it might work now because of the fact that we have gone away from running the ball. as much as we should. You know what I mean? I think we could use that sort of offense now because of our lack of a run game. So I do get your point, though. I do get your point, but I think we have to be able to emphasize getting back to running the ball because it has been something that we have been very successful at when we can execute. And like I said, on the idea, if we do bring back Cam Newton, then that's a relationship that can be reunited. Cam Newton, Ken Dorsey. There's that, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. It would make us too predictable. Well, I mean, we're already too predictable as it is now. So we're going to have to change it up. We're going to have to change it up. Because, I mean, right now, bro, we're predictable. You know what I mean? So we gotta change it up. We gotta change it up. CMC isn't a run the ball 25 times a game type. Agreed. 1,000,000% agreed. 1,000,000% agree with you. So, and that's another thing we gotta look at because as of now, it was said that they have no plans of trading Christian McCaffrey. So that's something to also keep in mind. It looks like we're still going to be rolling with Christian McCaffrey. So if anything, I hope that if Ken Dorsey or Jim Caldwell would be willing to put CMC into the slot and really contribute to the receiving game. I mean, you can still run him, but him not being 90% of the offense. So that's the thing with that. So where do we go from here? Draft a big back? I'm kind of torn about that. And the reason why I say that is honestly, for his rookie year, I think Chuba did pretty well. The only thing was he had butterfingers when it came to catches. Aside from that, I felt like Chuba did pretty good for his rookie year. I feel like he can grow. It might be little by little. We'll see how this next season goes. But I think the main thing with Chuba is fix the butterfingers, and he did have a couple of fumbles. I think Chuba could turn into something good. I really do. That's what I'm hoping for. He has a handful of experience as a starting running back in his rookie year. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But having a big back, I would not be against. I would definitely not be against having a big back. But yeah, it would be interesting to see how Ken Dorsey could do as an offensive coordinator. But like I said, still one of my top picks is Jim Caldwell. I think Jim Caldwell deserves a shot, but the whole thing with the health and age, that can be an issue. Another person that I was thinking of, and even though they just got eliminated from the playoffs, I was really thinking of Jeff Stoutland from the Philadelphia Eagles, run game coordinator and offensive line coach. I would not mind bringing in an offensive coordinator that was an offensive line coach, an area that we struggled at greatly. And Jeff Stoutland, also was there with the Eagles when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So honestly, he's had a lot of experience with coaching up the offensive line, and that's something that we could greatly use. So honestly, I'd be okay with Jeff Stoutland from the Eagles as a potential candidate. I'm really more and more intrigued by the idea of Adam Stenavich from Green Bay, because not only is he an offensive line run game coordinator, But the Green Bay Packers have a top 10 offensive line in the league. So, I mean, the idea, and the thing that's cool about this is, remember, we got rid of our offensive line coach. So even if we don't necessarily get these candidates as offensive coordinator, that offensive line coaching position could use some love as well. And, with Adam Stenovich, Jeff Stoutland, if not offensive coordinator, why not offensive line coach? But I feel like they have done enough with their experience where they can transition to offensive coordinator. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And Vietnam says maybe Chuba will be the answer. It's very possible. It's very possible. Like, I'd be willing to see what more he can do, and if he can have a successful sophomore season in the NFL. But I like Adam Stenovich. I like Jeff Stoutland. Nathaniel Hackett, offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. Now, I understand he may probably be more in line for a head coaching position, but if not, Hackett might be somebody to go after, Nathaniel Hackett. Because, I mean, for a long time, which I mean, I know he came to Green Bay as offensive coordinator in 2019, but we have to remember the Green Bay has been a consistent playoff team. They've had great offense for a long time. So, I mean, to have somebody of his caliber as our play caller, I think would really be a big step in the right direction for us. So I'm really kind of intrigued by the idea of Nathaniel Hackett for offensive coordinator. Vietnam says, we will see. You're right. The O-line rebuild will determine our future. That and the offensive coordinator hire. Facts. Because, as I said in the beginning of this video, I really feel like it's slim to zip of an opportunity of us getting a Eric Bieniemy or a Byron Leftwich. I think it's slim to none that we even have a chance at getting them for either offensive coordinator or head coach, which, I mean, head coach is off the table because it's official that Matt Rule is still going to be our head coach. And that's just something that we have to deal with. Green Bay has been good for years, but they do have Aaron Rodgers. That is true. That is true. The only thing that I can say as far as that is, I mean, yeah, I know we have Sam Darnold. We have Sam Darnold. And it's just one of those things where Sam Darnold came to a team with weapons, and we're going to have to see what Sam Darnold could do, perhaps with better coaching. And if that don't fix anything, then then it's even more definite that Sam Darnold is a bust. So, I mean, maybe we fixing the O-line, the coaching, and maybe Sam Darnold can thrive, but I don't know. I'm reaching. I'll admit I'm reaching, but I mean, anything can happen. I don't know. It's just going to be really difficult regardless because of the fact that we have Sam Darnold. But another name that I was thinking of is, oh, what's up? Nathan John, good to see you. Hi, Blitz. The way I look at this offensive coordinator hire is that it doesn't matter. The person hired will be gone with Rule at the end of next year. We aren't a very attractive team for anyone looking for stability, so expect a no name. Well, that's an interesting observation. I mean, I mean, either way, it's going to have to be somebody that's gonna work with Matt Rule, regardless of it's a no name or a big name. You know what I mean? So I don't. I can't necessarily say that by default it'll be somebody that'll be gone because I mean, like I said, there is always the possibility that things could turn around this next season. As much as we may not expect it or believe, that doesn't mean that it's impossible. I feel like it's very slim, especially given our schedule and our track record. But crazy things have happened. Crazy things have happened. I never would have imagined the Carolina Panthers having a 15-1 season, but it happened. I don't know how many Panther fans out there predicted us going 15-1 and making the Super Bowl in a season where there was a lot of panic after we lost Kelvin Benjamin. So crazier things have happened. And, like I said, if anything, it's going to be really hard to determine who we may end up getting. Because, like I said, Byron Leftwich, Eric Bieniemy, don't see it happening. And even Kevin O'Connell, which is one of the young offensive coordinators, 36 years old, currently with the Los Angeles Rams. One thing is I think he will probably be interviewing more for head coaching position, but a man can dream, right? So I would love to entertain the idea of us getting a Kevin O'Connell. A lot of experience as quarterback coach, passing game coordinator, and offensive coordinator ever since 2019. So 2019. Nathan John says, I like the idea of Stoutland. Yeah, me too. Especially being that he has, the offensive line, run game coordinator experience. He's been with the Super Bowl winning team for the Eagles. And I feel like he could be easily up for grabs. I do think you might be onto something there. Yeah, and I've heard that name kind of poked around here and there. But after I looked into it and really thought about it, I was like, yeah, the idea of Jeff Stoutland, I would entertain that. I would definitely entertain that. Now, another name that's been kind of thrown out there, which I'm kind of iffy about, because at first I was thinking, no way. But looking at it, I would love to get y'all's take on this one. Nathan John says, guys like Nathaniel Hackett are well out of reach, though. Would be a massive downgrade on what he currently has. Well, it would be yeah, it would be technically a downgrade. I definitely don't doubt that, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try. You know what I mean? But a name that's been thrown around quite a bit, Pep Hamilton. Now, when I originally saw this, which, I do understand he's a Carolina guy like me. He's a North Carolinian. But here's the thing. Initially, not who I would go for. But then we have to also remember who he's worked with. He's worked with Andrew Luck. And he's worked with he's also worked with Justin Herbert. He's worked with Justin Herbert, Andrew Luck. So I know he didn't get a chance to work with Deshaun Watson, but but then again, it goes back to the fact that we have Sam Darnold. That's really what a lot of this goes back to is we have Sam Darnold. So I don't know. What do y'all think about Pep Hamilton? what do y'all think about Pep Hamilton? Because that name has been thrown around quite a bit for Carolina to potentially pursue. But I just, and he's coached in the XFL as well. But I mean, known to be a passing game coordinator and a quarterback's coach, I just, with Sam Darnold, just, and it'll be interesting to see, how he does with play calling. Nathan John says, I like Pep. Here's a thought regarding the quarterback position. Deshaun Watson wanted to go to Miami to play under Brian Flores. The Texans hire Flores and he decides to stay. We could trade for Davis Mills and bring Hamilton over with him. I would trade for Davis Mills if he became available. You really like him. Oh, you like Davis Mills? Davis Mills. Best rookie quarterback this year, in my opinion. Really? Even over Mac Jones? Wow, that's interesting. Him over Mac Jones. Huh. Wow. That's kind of interesting. Mills can actually move the ball. It doesn't help that, with the team that he was on. So, I mean, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Had a pretty dang on good passer rating. Completion percentage could be high. It could be a little higher, 66.8, 88.8 passer rating. I mean, it would be interesting to see what he could do given a full season. Which, I mean, this was as close to a full season as he's had. I mean, he started in 11 games this season, so not bad. But I mean, Jones is just a game manager on a good team. Well, I mean, on the Patriots, being that you're coached under Bill Belichick, I mean, it does say something when you're being coached by Josh McDaniels and then Bill Belichick. His weapons and O-line weren't good other than Brandon Cooks. Really played really well considering what he had around him. And that's a fair point. I mean, 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 11 starts. I mean, that's a fair point. That's actually a fair point. Mills outdueled Justin Herbert in Week 17. Well, that is definitely true. That is definitely true. How old is Davis Mills? 23 years old? What? So a year younger than Sam Darnold. But who knows? He's probably a lot more coachable. He's probably a lot more coachable because that's another thing we got to factor in. Whoever we hire for offensive coordinator is going to be working with Sam Darnold. And that's why I'm pretty high on the idea of Jim Caldwell. Because, I mean, if Jim Caldwell can't help turn things around for Sam Darnold, I don't think anybody can. Shoot. I was also thinking of the idea, but Nathan John, that's a very intriguing idea. That's a very intriguing idea. I'm gonna keep that in mind. I was also thinking, What do y'all think about Mike Kafka, Kansas City quarterbacks coach and passing game coordinator? Honestly, that's another name. 34 years old. That's another name I might consider. Didn't really do well as a quarterback in the NFL, but maybe he gets a shot. I mean, Super Bowl champion with the coaching staff with the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike Kafka may not be a bad option as well. And then there's another name I wanted to mention. And I know this is probably going to get some good and some bad backlash. But he's currently the offensive line coach for the Cleveland Browns, Bill Callahan. I kind of see good and bad from Bill Callahan. Nathan John says, I don't like guys who get to work with great quarterbacks. Think great abs make them look good, kind of like Burrow and with Joe Brady. Or like kind of like Burrow did with Joe Brady. Oh, yeah, back at LSU. Well, I mean, Nathan John, would you rather have them or would you rather have Sam Darnold, though? Like, I guess the big argument is it even possible for Sam Darnold to even have a good season if he were to have good coaching? Because we have to also pose the argument that Sam Darnold, has he really had good coaching? Something to think about. Just something to think about. I want to see evidence that you can make things work with limited pieces. It's good, definitely, to be able to work with what you have, regardless of how much of it you have or how less of it you have. It's a challenge. It's a big challenge. It's a really big challenge. But Bill Callahan, definitely not someone I would consider for a head coach, but offensive line, offensive coordinator, why not? The only thing is, he's 65 years old, so he's one of the old guys. But I could see Bill Callahan doing some stuff as offensive coordinator. And it's like I said before, if they don't necessarily get that position with us, we still have openings for offensive line coach and defensive line coach. Remember, we let both of those coaches go. There's a saying, Blitz, in Australia: you can't polish a turd, and Sam Darnold is a turd. Dang. I've never heard that saying before. Bill Callahan was terrible when he took over as offensive coordinator for Washington 2 years ago. He's a no for me. The best that he's really had is he had the AFC Championship appearance, which I believe he was a coach at that time. Like I said, as far as head coaching, definitely would not want him touching the head coaching position. But he has a lot of experience. Yeah, with the Raiders. Yeah, I remember with the Raiders. He has a lot of experience at coordinator and also at offensive line, which even though Cleveland didn't make the playoffs, they still did a lot better at offensive line than us. But I'm kind of at a middle of the road for Bill Callahan. Not my top pick, that's for sure. Definitely not my top pick. I don't know if you caught the stream earlier, Nathan John, but what do you think? What do you think the idea of bringing back Ken Dorsey and having him be our offensive coordinator? What do you think about Ken Dorsey? Nathan John says, I'd prefer Pep Hamilton or Caldwell if we're going for an oldie. Yeah. Oh, I'd be totally on board for Jim Caldwell. Absolutely. I mean, I feel like he deserves another shot, being that the Detroit Lions fired him when they had a winning record, which made no sense. But that's the Detroit Lions for you. No, we would rather have Matt Patricia. Yeah, I will never understand that, but yeah. But if I were to pick three, ideally, Nathan Johnson's hell no to Dorsey. We need as many less rural people as possible. Well, I mean, I guess the idea kind of stems behind the fact that, look at who he's worked with. He's worked with Cam Newton, has helped Cam be successful. He's worked with Josh Allen, and he's been successful. I mean, shoot. So I mean, I don't know. Like, offensive coordinator may be a reach, but he does have some experience with the Panthers organization. But I mean, I guess you could say he's probably kind of like another situation, sort of similar to Joe Brady and Joe Burrow sort of thing. The quarterbacks he's worked with. He's worked with Cam Newton in his MVP season. He's working with Josh Allen currently. Because I mean, both are MVP candidates. I mean, and Cam Newton won MVP. So the fact that Rule is still standing after we fired 3/4 of his staff is laughable. Agreed. Agreed. I mean, I'm even still thinking about the fact that Miami let go of Brian Flores, but yet we aren't letting go of Matt Rule, especially considering that Miami had a 7-game losing streak and then came back and won like what, 8 straight? I think they lost another one, but then they finished what, 9-8, and they were on like a 7-game win streak after being on a 7-game losing streak. Yeah, I don't understand that firing, but yet we kept Matt Rule. I really hope Rule has had his privileges for input on roster moves revoked. That would be a big help. That would be a big help. I'd love Flores, my type of coach. He takes no crap. And that's the thing that sucks. Considering the fact that it's been set in stone that we're keeping Rule for another year, we can't go hire a head coach. And it just sucks that we can't get a head coach. But that was kind of why I was saying, with Jim Caldwell, if things do fall apart with Matt Rule, Jim Caldwell can be ushered in as replacement head coach. But what our players need, a big old kick up the ass. Wow. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is true. This is true. This is true. You're right, Nathan John. You're right. This is true. A big old swift kick. Let's see. Did you see what Matt Rule said when asked why we didn't draft Rashawn Slater? His arms weren't long enough. Not only that, he also assumed by default that he would be a guard and not play tackle. Yeah, it was pretty dumb. And Rashawn Slater, he had a good season. Played really well. Something we definitely didn't have on our O-line. So, yeah, Matt Rule, I'm now at the point where it's hard for me to believe that Matt Rule knows good talent. after all, I guess he went with Sam Darnold. What an idiot. Tape greater than body measurements. Dang. The savagery. The savagery. But yeah, never get sucked in by combine and measurements. You should always go off tape first. Yeah, that's definitely true. And that's a really, really good point. That's a really good point. Um I feel like whoever we do go after for offensive coordinator, I think something tells me it's going to end up being somebody that has a good background with offensive line, something that we greatly struggled in this season, and what we've struggled for a long time. But we have a lot to fill. We got special teams coordinator to fill. We got defensive line coach to fill, and we got offensive line coach to fill alongside offensive coordinator. And I must say, and now that you mentioned it, Nathan John, like the fact of how much of those folks we laid off, but yet still kept Matt Rule, it's crazy. It's like when people draft wide receivers because they have speed. Ruggs and Raptor taken ahead of Justin Jefferson, or Ruggs and Rager taken ahead of Justin Jefferson, for example. Yeah, and Rager, oh man. I saw that game earlier today. Dude, how the heck do you not call fair catch? Like, yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. And now the word is, shoot, it sounds like the Eagles may not be too sure on if Jalen Hurts can be their franchise quarterback. Now lately, that's what I'm starting to hear about Jalen Hurts. But yeah, it's crazy. But more and more that I think about, because there's been a lot of talk. Offensive line, quarterback. Offensive line, quarterback. That's the combo that's been really swirling around when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. Hurts was terrible today. Oh yeah, facts. Facts. Yeah, the Eagles, they got destroyed. While I give them credit, they did score some points later. It was too late. It kind of made it sort of look like garbage touchdowns, but they didn't give up, and they got some points later, but just they couldn't do enough to stop the Bucks and come back. So yeah. But only thing I will say is this. Like I said, I know we all don't like the idea of Sam Darnold being our quarterback next season. But let's look at it this way. If changing up the coaching staff and the offensive coordination and the play calling doesn't help, and of course, repairing the offensive line, if none of that contributes to Sam Darnold having a good season, then it's even more evident that he's a bust. And it's just that nothing can help him. We'll find out next year. NFL bringing the 7th seed in the playoffs has been a disaster. A complete waste of time just for the owners' pockets. Yeah, I mean, I figured it was not only for that, but also to make the playoffs interesting. That's really the only other thing I could think of, make the playoffs interesting. But I hope Rule goes down with Darnold as our quarterback next year. Rule deserves it. Well, like I said before, I don't know if you had came in at the time that I said this. Crazier things have happened, you know. Like I said, I think if you ask a lot of Panther fans about our 2015 season, I think a good big ginormous percentage of us would have never predicted us to go 15-1 and make it to the Super Bowl. I'm still shocked to this day that happened. So if some way, somehow, the biggest ginormous miracle happens and Matt Rule, Sam Darnold happens to get it right, which I think is very, very slim, then what can we say? What can we say? But it's not interesting. Steelers and Eagles both blown out. Wait, the Steelers lost? I'm sorry, I didn't see the game. Ooh, 42-21. Ugh. Dang. They put up 42 points. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, 5 touchdowns and an interception. And oh snap, Travis Kelce threw for a touchdown? What? Wow. Well, Big Ben had a decent game. 29 of 44, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. He didn't throw any picks. Got sacked twice. Okay. Dang. Wow, that's a bummer. Yeah, but we had a really good season 2 years before that. Went 12-4, didn't we? Pieces were there. True, that is a fair point. That is a fair point. Because I think that was if I remember correctly, that was the season where we were undefeated at home, and then we lost the first home game in the playoffs against the Niners. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick destroyed us. Oh yeah, you just confirmed it. Lost to San Francisco at home. Yeah, I remember because Colin Kaepernick scored a rushing touchdown and then faked like he was doing the Superman and did the bicep kiss. And it wasn't even that close. 42-7 at one stage. He was 4 of 12 at halftime. Oh, so his stats came in at garbage time. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Because like I said, I didn't see the game, but okay. So his stats were garbage stats. Okay. So kind of like almost kind of like the Eagles game in a way. But dang, Patrick Mahomes, 30 of 39, 404 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a pick. But it looks like that pick didn't really matter. But dang, Travis Kelce threw for a touchdown. That's crazy. Dang. 6 passing touchdowns total. Holy crap. Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least Big Ben got to play in a playoff game for his last game. So I can't hate on him for that. He got to play in a playoff game, his potentially his last game of his career. So I give him that. Steelers led 7-0, then Chiefs scored the next 42 points in 2 quarters. Jeez. You know what that kind of reminds me of? That reminds me of the Steelers game that we went up against where we scored first and then Steelers destroyed us and Cam Newton got hurt. That's what that reminds me of. You know, the same game that Antonio Brown torched D-Jack. But yeah, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, San Francisco, Kansas City, all advance. I think the Cardinals-Rams game could go either way. I think that game could go either way. But let's see. Oh, Nathan John, I don't know if you caught this, but I know you had mentioned Nathaniel Hackett. If we couldn't get him from Green Bay, what do you think about Adam Stenovich from Green Bay, the offensive line run game coordinator? What do you think about him if we can't get Nathaniel Hackett? But yeah, it's going to be really interesting because, like I said, I feel like a lot of these folks are going to be gunning for a head coach position than offensive coordinator. And you know what the funny thing is? Joe Brady has been getting calls about offensive coordinator positions just like that. It's crazy. Green Bay run game is all right, but again, Rodgers makes everyone look good. It's easy, an offensive coordinator with a great quarterback. They also have a top 10 offensive line. They have a top 10 offensive line as well. But, I mean, I guess also think about it this way. If there's any chance that Sam Darnold is going to have some success, then we're going to have to get somebody who could possibly coach him up to his full potential if it exists. If it exists. Like I said, I understand I'm definitely reaching. I admit it. I'm definitely reaching, but I mean that's what we're gonna have to deal with and accept, because I mean that's who the guy is. And not only that, hold up, didn't we also re-sign PJ Walker? Yeah, we also re-signed PJ Walker. I just thought about it. Yeah, I forgot. We re-signed PJ Walker. Yep, sure did. Sure did. PJ Walker, Giovanni Ricci. Yeah. Dang. I just now realized that. Pep Hamilton would be the guy, then, given he's made Herbert and Mills look good in their rookie seasons. True. And let's not forget Andrew Luck as well. But I mean, you have a fair point. How old is he? 47. So I mean, not too young, not too old. So, and hey, he's a North Carolinian, just like me. Hey, Tito Z, how you doing? What's up, champ? As long as Matt Rule is head coach, no matter who the offensive coordinator is, we are going to suck, only because of ego reasons. That's a fair argument. That is definitely a fair argument. And, you know, as much as I hate to admit that, you have a point. You have a point. Nathan John says, I'd rather have him than any of the Green Bay staff. Ooh, okay. Interesting. And like I said, Pep Hamilton is a name that has appeared quite a bit for Carolina. There was a name I remember checking out the PMP podcast or with Rashad and Dave, and I remember Rashad mentioned Scott Montgomery, who's another North Carolinian. But Scott Montgomery was another name that was mentioned. What do y'all think about him? Nathaniel Hackett was a very average offensive coordinator with Jacksonville, for example. Wasn't until he worked with Rodgers until he looked good. But wait a minute. But what about the time that they made it to the playoffs with Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette? What about that? They did have that playoff run, because remember, if I remember correctly, didn't they make it all the way to the AFC Championship but lost? On the back of their defense. That's like saying Mike Shula was a good OC. But they did have one of the best running games in 2017. They were strongly known for how well they succeeded in the run game, and he was coordinator at that time for that. So, like I said, I get where you're coming from, but he has performed in a different organization successfully. I mean, the Jaguars aren't, not a pretty picture, but he has had some success before Green Bay. So far under Matt's leadership, who has he brought in that have NFL experience? Not anybody that I know of. Yeah, not anybody that I know of. That's a good question. I honestly don't know. If y'all know, by all means share. Well, I mean, nobody, because he doesn't want to be undermined. He's a control freak. Yeah, there's definitely evidence of that for sure. Definitely evidence of that. Agreed. Definitely agreed. But I mean, micromanaging everything. Yeah, agreed. Highly agreed. But like I said, I don't know, Nathan John. I would reconsider. Personally, I would reconsider about Nathaniel Hackett. Only because, I mean, Jacksonville, you have to also look at how many points they put up in a lot of their wins. And even in their losses, they put up a good number of points, even in some of their losses. But, and like I said, having a Leonard Fournette and just being strong in other areas has helped. But like I said, it would be a reach. It would definitely be a reach, because I feel like he's going to be mainly applying for head coaching positions more than offensive coordinator. That is, if he doesn't stay with Green Bay. Hackett isn't coming here, so it's irrelevant. Well, like I said, it doesn't mean that we don't try. It doesn't mean that we don't try. Because right now, regardless, you tell anybody, open position Carolina Panthers, 9 times out of 10, I don't think many people would want to consider that, given our track record. So, I mean, we're going to have to try something. We're going to have to try something. Tito Z says, if Tepper was smart, he would fire Matt and bring Eric Bieniemy and let him build up the coaching staff. If he was smart. That's definitely the key detail, if he was smart. But you know what he said at the beginning. I see a lot of myself in Matt Rule. We gotta sign him. No, not 2 years, not 3 years, not 5 years. Let's make it 7 years. 7 years. So just think, we could potentially be stuck with Matt Rule for 7 years. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's possible. But yeah, on paper, getting a Bieniemy, getting a Flores, getting a Byron Leftwich would be awesome. Would be very awesome. Getting a John Harbaugh would be awesome. Bieniemy failed hard when given play calling duties in the Super Bowl last year. I mean, but Mahomes was running for his life in that game. He was running for his life in that game. And I mean, it's a fair argument, but Mahomes was running for his life that game. Mahomes makes him look better than he is, like Rodgers does to Hackett. Tito Z says digging up John Madden would be awesome. Yeah, and that's why he failed hard. Well, I mean, let's not forget, Tampa Bay had a good defense too now. Tampa Bay, they had a good defense too. Let's not sleep on Tampa Bay now. Shoot, Tampa Bay has a great opportunity to repeat in this playoffs. I mean, I know they just whipped up on the Eagles. I know the next matchup is going to be tough, but yeah. You need to run more screens, and he has Mahomes dropping back. Didn't run the ball enough. It was a terrible game plan. Yeah, it was really frustrating to see that they really struggled to put points on the board in that game. But it seems that they are bouncing back and looking rather strong. But it was just sad to see they only were able to put up 9 points that game, that Super Bowl. But I mean, Mahomes, looking here, threw for 2 picks, couldn't get a single touchdown, despite Travis Kelce getting 133 yards receiving. That was kind of a shock, being that he threw 2 picks and a lot of incompletes. But I mean, the big surprise to me was, as much as he was running for his life, he got sacked 3 times. I'm surprised he didn't get sacked more than 3 times, to be honest with you. But like I said, Tampa Bay had a great defense as well. So, but we got so much work to do. It's crazy. So much work to do. And going back to the players that we resigned, PJ Walker, Giovanni Ricci, Spencer Brown, Madre Harper, Frank Heron, Mike Horton, Aaron Monteiro, Aaron Parker, CJ Saunders, Colin Thompson. Dang, still got 22 unrestricted free agents. Oh yeah, and apparently, oh yeah, I forgot. Austin Pleasance and Austin Larkin, we brought them back too. So, well, dang, we got a lot of work to do. Oh yeah, special teams. No more Chase Blackburn. I know a lot of people were happy we let go of Chase Blackburn. It's kind of a bummer because he was a Ron Rivera guy. He was used to work with Ron Rivera. So Nathan John, Tito Z, since you're both here, Vietnam mentioned something interesting. What do y'all think about us going after a big running back, whether it's in the draft or maybe free agency? Me personally, for the type of season that we had, especially record wise and on offense, I felt like for his rookie year, I felt like Chuba Hubbard did pretty well for his rookie year. Yes, he had butterfingers and he had a couple of fumbles, but finishing with 172 carries, 612 yards, and 5 touchdowns. I think there's potential for growth. I think there's definitely potential for growth. So I really, I really think Chuba Hubbard can grow and evolve and potentially become a decent running back. Uh, what magic can we spend in order to keep Reddick? Oof, that's a good question. Uh, I mean, let me see. Let me see something here. Um, so we're gonna have for 2022, we're gonna have 24,800,000, or excuse me, 24,088,573 in cap space for 2020 2022. We'll have a lot more in 2023 and 2024, but yeah, that's gonna be tough. No, the O line needs work. I like Hubbard and Abdullah. Yeah, I'm totally okay with that combo, but also have to factor in that it has been said that they have no plans of trading Christian McCaffrey. But like Tito Z said, moving him to the slot, I'd be all for that. Nathan John says, nah, stop spending money and more draft capital on running backs. Fix the O line before we worry about that. Agreed. Keep Hubbard and bring in some no names off the street. Well, I wouldn't mind, like I said, I wouldn't mind getting Reggie Bonifant back into the mix. Because I thought when Bonifant is healthy, he can contribute, which he's done before. He just hasn't had a lot of opportunities due to injury. But and if anything, I really feel like, I mean, three that I know by default, or at least, or excuse me, you know what? Instead of three, I'll say four. Four by default, I really think we should try our best to bring back are Stephon Gilmore, Hassan Reddick, Frankie Louvu, and Zane Gonzalez. I think we should at least try to bring those four back. If we can afford to bring anybody else back, that's great. Like Amir Abdullah would be nice, but I feel like those four that I mentioned, I feel should be go-tos. Should have kept Mike Davis. Well, from what I remember hearing, if I remember correctly, didn't he want more money? Didn't he want more? Didn't he want more money? I could be wrong, but I thought he wanted more money. Not to mention, Mike Davis didn't necessarily do great with Atlanta. I mean, he did better with us than he did with Atlanta, to be honest. So I mean, kind of had a decline in his production, but I mean, Mike Davis filled in for CMC quite well, so there's no arguing that. If we had an O line, I'd be all over us wanting to get Tony Pollard. Reckon he's a beast who hasn't got enough opportunities in Dallas. Reckon he will explode at his next next stop. Wait, where was I at? We had Gilmore. Yeah, we had Stephon Gilmore on our team. We got him around like middle to going into the late half of the season. But yeah, we had Stephon Gilmore. Yep, sure did. It's funny because my older brother was talking about how much he wanted to get Stephon Gilmore for Philadelphia, and then in the same day, a friend shared with me that Carolina was going to pick up Stephon Gilmore, and it shocked the mess out of me. And I ended up talking some smack to my brother, and then of course he was like, "Stephon Gilmore sucks. We don't need him anyway." It's like, yeah, okay, you weren't saying that earlier, but yeah. Stephon Gilmore has a voice that he wants to stay because I mean, he's a Carolinian. He loves it here. So Stephon Gilmore does want to stay. I really hope we bring him back. I really, really do. I would love to keep Stephon Gilmore. He would be a ginormous boost, especially as a veteran for our secondary. But at the same time, I think overall our secondary will be fine. Because we have to remember, we still got AJ Bouye. We'll still have CJ Henderson. We'll have an opportunity. CJ Henderson and AJ Bouye. AJ Bouye, he missed 2 games. Yeah, it was 2 or 3 games. I think it was 2 games. But we'll have AJ Bouye. We'll have CJ Henderson for a full season, so we'll get a chance to evolve him more, work on him more. So we got CJ Henderson staying. Keith Taylor had some flashes, had some rough patches, but I feel like we can also evolve Keith Taylor as well. J.C. Horn, we'll be getting him back, and J.C. Horn was an immediate impact on the secondary. So I think if we could bring back Stephon Gilmore, that would really seal the deal with our secondary. And then we still have opportunities to evolve, Stanley Thomas Oliver the third. So yeah. Didn't watch many Panthers games in the second half of the year. Can't blame them. Sorry, I was thinking about Diggs. My bad. No problem. Hey, that's why we're here for each other. Tito Z. If we can get him on a discounted rate, I'd be fine with bringing Stephon Gilmore back, but I'm not keen on paying $10 million per year. I like Taylor. Oh, you like Keith Taylor? Yeah, I do too. Maybe more than Henderson even. CJ did absolutely nothing. I'm still willing. I'm still willing to give CJ Henderson a full season. Personally, I'm willing to give him a full season to see if we can evolve him. I'm willing to give him a full season because you got to remember, CJ Henderson was also a former first round pick, and there's potential there. There's definitely potential there. I just feel like, he has the opportunity, get some things sorted out with, hopefully he can battle back from the depression issue. Give him a full offseason, and let's see what he can do. Let's really see what he can do with a full offseason. And we have to also remember he won't be alone. And that's why I say if we can bring back Stephon Gilmore, that would be a big influence. J.C. Horn, another young guy, made an immediate impact. When you have teammates like that, you can feed off of that. So I'd say an opportunity to really great secondary. You have CJ Henderson because the talent is there. I have no doubt that the talent is there. Because like I said, you can look back at a previous video when we got CJ Henderson. I was all for that. I had no idea that we could land him. So I was all for getting CJ Henderson just as much as I was when we got Stephon Gilmore. And like I said, CJ is still young. He's still young. Like I said, I think the main thing for him is now that the season's over for us, I hope that CJ will, do his best to take some initiative to try to, during this off season, to try to see if he can really, get some help. And during this time, try to see if he can overcome this, get some help, get healed. And then, maybe later, continue to work on, staying in shape because, he is an NFL football player. That's his job. And I think he can bounce back. Feel bad for him. Hope he comes good. I do too, Nathan John. I do too. We lost a draft pick behind him. I mean, but didn't we also lose a draft pick when we got Stephon Gilmore, though? But didn't we also lose a draft pick when we got Stephon Gilmore? I thought we did. Agree, Blitz. Hope he stays away from Florida over the offseason and gets his life moving in the right direction. I hope so, too, because the potential is there. I think just he gets coached up, give him a full offseason, give him full training camp, because remember, he didn't have a full season with us. But I think give him a full season, and you surround him with the secondary that we have. Like I said, a Stephon Gilmore can be a great leader. Like you can feed off of that. Traded a third and Arnold for CJ and a fifth. It was a good trade. No problem whatsoever with that trade. I was all for it personally. I was all for it because I felt like he could definitely evolve. And like I said, we at least know that we're gonna have him. And for this season, I mean, 31 solo tackles, 2 passes deflected. Only has 1 career interception. I mean, like I said, I feel like he has potential. Definitely has potential. And he's 23 years old. So there's a lot to grow from. And like I said, he was a first round pick. I think eighth pick, ninth pick in the first round. So there's definitely potential there. Top 10 pick 2 years ago. He was number 9 pick. He can play. It's just about getting his mental health right and on track. The rest will follow. Yeah, I believe it. I definitely believe it. Hey, what's up, Rome's? What's up, Rome's? I remember saying to Blitz, I didn't expect much at all from him this year when we made the trade. And which gives me the more reason that, hey, let's see what he can do with a full season, including a full off season. Let's see what he can do. Nathan John, how do you feel about exactly where to put CJ? Like maybe covering the slot, covering the nickel. I mean, I don't feel like he's ready to match up with a number one receiver, but I think maybe, the slot or a nickel. Well, then again, AJ Bouye has a experience with that. I don't know, because we have to remember we're also, we also got AJ Bouye, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what we can do with that. It'll be interesting. He was coming off no offseason at all, spent all offseason indoors hiding with depression. So hopefully this offseason he'll be able to get some help and, start that road to recovery. But going back to the cap situation, like I said, it's looking like at least a good 24,000 ish, or it's not 24,000, $24 million in cap. So I mean, we have to really dig into this, because that cap is going to really say some things. He's an outside corner. He can be a number one if he gets right mentally, or a very number good opposite horn. That would be huge. That would be very huge. But dang, man. Just we got some work to do. We got some crazy work to do. And they were saying, and looking at this calculated market values, Stephon Gilmore, we're looking at $14.2 million. Hassan Reddick, $15.4 million. And an average salary for Stephon Gilmore is $13 million. Oof. This is I don't know, y'all. It might be tough for Hassan Reddick, Stephon Gilmore. It might be tough, y'all. Hassan Reddick, current contract, average salary is $6 million, but his market value is $15.3 million. And he's had a great season for us. So unless Stephon, if he wants to be here really badly, Stephon Gilmore may have to agree to a pay cut, a severe pay cut, at least a couple of mil. Ooh. Ugh. Yeah, that's gonna be tough, y'all. Yeah, Nathan John, I can't pay Gilmore that much. $8 million more around the mark. I'd rather give Hassan more money to keep him and let Gilmore walk. Here's my thing though. Are y'all confident that we could still succeed without somebody like a Stephon Gilmore, like a big veteran presence? Because realistically, the next man up that has more of a veteran presence, if we had no Stephon Gilmore, realistically would probably be AJ Bouye, being that he's 30. Everybody else is young. Keith Taylor's young. CJ Henderson's young. JC Horn's young. So, if anything, we're going to have to really dig deep into developing our cornerbacks. Oh, speaking of which, that's what Nathan John says. We aren't competing next year. Develop the kids. Taylor, Horn, and Henderson keep Bouye. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to really continue to coach them up and help them evolve. Which, like I said, JC Horn, I'm not really worried about because he was such an immediate impact before he got hurt. So I'm really not too worried about JC Horn. Henderson and Taylor. Like I said, Taylor, I agree that Taylor has showed some flashes, shows that he can do something. So there's that. And then, like I said, and like Nathan John said, if CJ, can get his head straight, then CJ could definitely make an impact. I believe he can. But yeah, realistically, and like I said, Hassan Reddick was great for us. Really, really great for us. But like I said, yeah, keeping Stephon Gilmore is going to be tough. That's going to be really tough. And even Hassan Reddick, even though Reddick, I think we can all agree that Reddick should be the number one top at the list. If we're going to bring anybody back of urgency, Hassan Reddick should be at the top of the list. And probably Stephon Gilmore would be next on the list. And like I said, Cam Newton, y'all might as well get ready because I think Cam Newton's going to be off the table. As much as I hate to say it, I think Cam Newton's going to be off the table. Any thoughts on the D-line? We can never stop the run. Well, Daquan Jones is a free agent, which honestly I'm not even too sure about wanting to keep him. I was thinking maybe consider free agency or maybe late in the draft for D-line. Because you're right, we did struggle stopping the run. We definitely struggled stopping the run. I mean, and if anything, Derek Brown's going to really need some help on that D-line. But yeah, the D-line is definitely something we got to address. Not only just player-wise, but also coaching-wise. Because remember, we let go of our defensive line coach. So, yeah, that's crazy. That's really going to be. Derek Brown was firing shots at fans on social media. I don't know how I missed that. you know what? Let me see something. Overall, let me see how Derek Brown even did this year. Derek Brown finished this season 27 solo tackles and 3 sacks. He had 41 total tackles. 27 of them were solo. 3 sacks and 4 passes deflected. Well, he did improve from last season. He did technically improve from last season. He said, how would you like it if I came to your job at the grocery store and booed you? He said that? How would you like it if I came to your job at the grocery store and booed you? I would probably be like, are you gonna pay me for these groceries? Are you gonna pay for these groceries? I mean, he could boo me all he wants. At the end of the day, are you gonna pay for these groceries? Otherwise, you can put them back and leave. I'm just saying. Like, shoot, let me be working at a grocery store and he boos me. I'll be like, okay, you gonna pay for those groceries? Oh man. But but yeah, the cap situation is definitely interesting. Let me see. I am curious. Panthers free agents. Let me. Dang it! I'm trying to organize this to where. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to see. So, let me see. Yeah, like I said, yeah, Stephon Gilmore is gonna be hard to bring back. Hassan Reddick is probably going to be hard to bring back, but he's definitely one that we should pursue for with a sense of urgency. Cam, like I said, they might as well not even bother. Jarrett Cole, wow, it's been a while since I've seen you, bro. Where you been? What's up? Good to see you. What's your take on Carolina Panthers interested in interviewing former Vikings offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak? I think I heard something about that. Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak. I mean, he's the son of Gary Kubiak, and he was kind of there under Gary Kubiak when the Broncos beat us in the Super Bowl. That's really the only thing I can say about him. But I mean, and I know Gary Kubiak retired, and then he became offensive coordinator. I mean, the Vikings. Well, here's the thing: the Vikings are questionable. The Vikings are questionable. Like, I know they finished 8-9, a much better record than us, but yeah, the Vikings aren't necessarily. I mean, they let go of Mike Zimmer, so I I mm, I don't know. Rome says Viking fans don't approve of him. Oh, really? Not even the Vikings like him? Dang. And of course, they let go of Mike Zimmer. So I mean, I I don't know. What do y'all think? Jarrett Cole poses a good question. I mean, how did what are their offensive rank? I'm kind of curious to what their offensive rankings was because I mean they were pretty competitive throughout this whole season. They were pretty competitive, but just they beat us. I mean, it went to overtime. They beat us. So, uh, I don't know. I mean, if the Vikings didn't like him, I mean that's something to take into account. So, I mean, and then again, we're working with Kirk Cousins. I can imagine. Kirk Cousins is kind of hit or miss, but Kirk Cousins hasn't really had a lot of well-known success. But yeah, I'm kind of neutral, Jarrett Cole, about the idea of Clint Kubiak. I'm neutral. I'm gonna stay neutral on that because I can't really say that I hate the idea nor like the idea. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about Clint Kubiak? But more than the more that I think about it, and action, and since hearing from Nathan John, I'm definitely on board with the idea of a Jim Caldwell, a Pep Hamilton, uh, a Mike Kafka, or maybe even a Kevin O'Connell. But like Nathan John said, it wouldn't be too big of a surprise if we ended up getting a no name as our offensive coordinator. Jarrett Cole says, "I would like Jim Caldwell." Yeah, I think overall he would probably be number one at the top of my list. And like I said, I say him because of the fact that it's pretty safe to say that we're not even going to be in line for a Eric Bieniemy or a Byron Leftwich or anybody else of well-known caliber. So, ooh man, this is going to be crazy interesting. I wonder if have they interviewed anybody else? I don't think they have, because we know for sure we have to address offensive coordinator, defensive line coach, offensive line coach, and special teams coordinator. Remember, we let go of Chase Blackburn. So we really got a lot of vacancies in the coaching staff. But one thing's for sure, looking at this offense, guess where we finished in the league with the end of the season? Guess what ranking we finished in total offense? We finished number 30th. We are number 30th in total offense for this 5-12 season. So y'all best believe that we need to do some major heavy duty work on this Carolina Panthers offense. How about offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell from the Rams? I'd be okay. I'd be okay with that. You know, it's another young guy. I'd be okay with him. I'd totally be down. You know, young guy, 36 years old. I'd be down. I just don't know if he's going to be more in a position to go after a head coaching job. But if we ended up getting Kevin O'Connell, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain at all. But let's see. So yeah, we finished 30th in total offense. And for defense, we finished, let's see. We definitely finished a lot better in defense. We were 18th in 2020. I don't think we necessarily deserve to be called the second best defense, that's for sure. But they said that we finished second. They said that we finished second in total defense. I find that hard to believe, but that's what it says. But they also pointed out that we finished 21st in points allowed. Definitely a problem. Jarrett Cole says, how about Jarrett Garrett? Do you mean Jason Garrett? If you mean Jason Garrett, heck no. No. If you're talking about Jason Garrett, no. No. We need to keep as far away from Jason Garrett as possible. No way. No way. What do y'all think about Jason Garrett? I say a big, gigantic no. I wouldn't do it. But yeah, 22. We have 22 unrestricted free agents. So we got a lot of work to do in that. But I don't know, y'all. I still really don't feel like we finished second in defense. I don't believe it. I really don't believe we finished as a second ranked defense. And they also specified that we need to be better in the red zone. We need to be better against the run and deeper in general. And we have to also remember we ended the season on a 7-game losing streak. So that, defense took a big hit in that 7-game losing streak. Tito Z also agrees. Oh, hell no. Yeah, Jason Garrett, nah, definitely not. But it's definitely apparent that we got a lot more to work on with the offense than we do with the defense. So at least we know that for sure. But looking at these articles, I'm kind of interested now. So looking at the defense, so we know that they got a list of guys Brian Burns, YGM, Morgan Fox, Daryl Johnson, Azur Kamara, Austin Larkin, Jacob Tuati Mariner. And like I said, would love to bring back Hassan Reddick. And Marquise Haynes Sr. has a lot of experience with this team. It could be a big backup role, could be a big role player. And then defensive tackles, like I said, Daquan Jones is on the free agency list, but I don't know. I don't know if he'd be worth bringing back, but we'll see. I think it's really going to depend on the cost. We still have Kamal Martin and Shaq Thompson, but I really would love to see us bring back Frankie Louvu, but it's going to depend on how much he costs. Frankie Louvu, I think he's a great fit for us and could potentially maybe, that middle linebacker spot. We got to really address that middle linebacker spot. And like I said, cornerback, like I said, secondary. I really feel like we're going to be fine at secondary. But I really would like to see how negotiations would go for Gilmore. Because, like I said, Stephon Gilmore, he's from the area and he wants to stay. He would love to stay. And here's the weird thing about it. Here's the weird thing. Apparently, the Panthers have not ruled out the idea of bringing back Dante Jackson. They apparently have not ruled that option out. Jarrett Cole says we keeping Frankie. I hope we keep Frankie Louvu. Jones is gone. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, do note that they have not ruled out the idea of bringing back Dante Jackson. I don't think it'll happen, but apparently they haven't ruled out the idea. But you know what? If you ask me, being that Dante Jackson is going to be a free agent, I don't even know if he even wants to come back to this team, to be honest with you. I don't even know. But I just really feel like we got to take a shot at trying to keep Stephon Gilmore. But it's really going to depend on the money. Because even though Stephon Gilmore is 31, he's still a veteran, a big name veteran. So he's going to want to get paid. He's definitely going to want to get paid. I would think, at least if I was him. Let's see. Dante Jackson will be cheap. And then again, you have to also keep in mind, production-wise, Dante Jackson, honestly, I don't know. I feel like he could be a hit or miss. But, young guy. Got in quite a handful of experience. ever since coming to the league. But lately he's kind of been hit by the injury bug lately. So that's something to also think about. But this year he finished with 50 solo tackles, a forced fumble, and 2 interceptions with 10 passes deflected. So, I mean, I honestly feel like the best that we got from Dante Jackson was his rookie year. I mean, 73 total tackles, 63 of them were solo, a sack and 4 interceptions, and a forced fumble. Although, in 2019 and 2020, he got 3 interceptions as well. But definitely his rookie year has been his best year. For sure, has been his best year. So, I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to keep Dante Jackson. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't. Something tells me he's gonna want to play elsewhere. But he only has a $4,529,253 contract, because I mean this was still off of his rookie contract. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, they're not opposed to the idea of bringing him back. They did make that clear. So we'll just have to see what they do. I think it's going to be difficult. And then safety. I don't know. There's also talks about the idea of moving him back to nickel, but I don't know, y'all. I feel like with him going to safety, I feel like he's now comfortable playing safety, even though he's been successful playing nickel. I mean, another thing that it's going to have to come down to is how confident are they in a Kenny Robinson? How confident are they with a Miles Hartsfield, a Sam Franklin Jr.? I mean, those are 3 names. Those are 3 names to keep an eye out for. Jarrett Cole says, I would not sign Hassan Reddick. I would trade Brian Burns. I would draft a much bigger edge. Really, dude? Hold up. So you wouldn't want to bring back Hassan Reddick? Really? Wow. I'm kind of surprised to hear that. I mean, bro. Hold up. 68 tackles, 37 of them solo, 11 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. And you wouldn't want to bring back Hassan Reddick? Hold up. Brian Burns. $50 total tackles, 31 of them solo tackles, 9 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. And you want to trade Brian Burns? Who also, remember, had 2 back-to-back 9-sack seasons. I mean, too high of a cost. I mean, that's why they negotiate. That's why they negotiate. I mean, we have, at least 26 mil in cap. I mean, it's definitely possible. If anything, I feel like it'll be easier. It might be easier to bring back Hassan Reddick than it would be to bring back Stephon Gilmore, only because, Stephon Gilmore, I would think, would want a decent amount of money. But Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick, that combo worked for us this year. That combo worked. If anything, our interior needs the most work. Our interior needs the most work. Like, the edge, Brian Burns, like I said, the only issue with Brian Burns is he occasionally over pursues. That's his only main problem, is that he over pursues. But 2 back-to-back seasons with 9 sacks, and his rookie year he had 7.5 sacks. So it's like, I have to disagree with you on the trade Brian Burns part. I would have to disagree with you on that. And not being able to sign Hassan Reddick. I mean, yeah, I understand it's going to depend on money, but I think we have to take a sense of urgency in bringing back Hassan Reddick, especially with how well he's played for us. We got to take that initiative. They are only good for pass rush, not stopping the run. Well, like I said, that's where we have to fix the interior. Because a lot of those runs, you have to remember, a lot of those runs, where were they? Up the middle, up the middle, up the middle, up the middle. Interior D-line is where we're weak at. That's really where we have to really, hanker down on. But a lot of the issue with, not being able to stop the run has been up the middle. So I really feel like addressing the interior D, whether Derek Brown is a bust or not, I still feel like it's kind of up in the air. But we gotta work on more of the interior. And even with Marquise Haynes as a backup rotation, he's done well with us. Has that experience with the team. He's done well with us. So I would be honestly, I would be very shocked if we were to get rid of Brian Burns and Hassan Reddick walks. I'd be very shocked. I'd be very shocked. We got to do a better job of retaining the good players that actually shine the most on our team. We got to do a better job of that. That's something that we lack. And then let me see. Like, if anything, when it comes to defense, interior, D line, middle linebacker, and one of the safety positions, I feel like we should really address when it comes to the defense. Aside from that, the defense, for the most part, I feel will be fine. I just think we address the weak areas, D line in the middle linebacker, and safety. I think if we do that, I think we'll be able to bounce back on stopping the run and continue with defending the pass. And then offense, yeah, we got a lot of work to do on offense on so many calibers. No, the most issue was not stopping the run on the side. Look at how the Atlanta Falcons did us. Bro, you might want to look back at a lot more games. We struggled up the middle, especially on yard shortage, on short yard situations, that is. I do, like I said, I agree that we did well, especially on third down. On defense, we did a lot better on defense on third down than we did on offense. But you look at those short yardage situations, we failed a lot of short yard situations, and most of them were up the middle. Most of them were up the middle. You also have to remember, a lot of our pass rushing push was mostly around the sides, not really much up the middle, and it shows in the stats. I really strongly believe up the middle is where we struggle the most when it comes to the D line. I really truly believe that. Oh yeah, and it is official that we finished with the sixth round, or not sixth round. What am I talking about? Sixth pick of the first round. But the main question is, will we end up addressing the second and third rounds? Because we do not have picks in those rounds. So we're really in some trouble with this draft with no second and third round pick. Let me see. But yeah, we definitely need to address that second and third round pick. Hopefully, some way, and that's why I feel like part of me feels like we might trade back. We might definitely trade back. It's something that it's something that we're definitely going to have to account for. But that's pretty much about all that I really have. Like I said, if I looking at the main subject of the offensive coordinators, like I said, probably my top three. I would love to, just based on the ones that were mentioned. Jim Caldwell. I guess the idea of Jim Caldwell, Kevin O'Donnell. Oh, sorry, Kevin O'Connell. I had it right the first time. And well, I'll pick four. Jim Caldwell, Pep Hamilton, Mike Kafka, Kevin O'Connell. Those are my four. I heard Deontay Brown would like to play center. What? Why? Really? He wants to play center? Why? He did so well at guard. Why does he want to play center? I don't want him to play center. No. Wait, why does he want to play center? That's weird. Does he have any experience playing center? Maybe he has experience. I don't know. Does he have experience? I don't think about it. Offensive guard. Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like he have any experience playing center. I don't know about that. Yeah, it doesn't look like he have any experience playing center. I wouldn't do it. Personally, I have him play guard because he did so well. Because he did so well in that final game. He did really, really well, especially when it came to screenplays. Oh, shoot. He was a blocking machine. I do think it's great that he had been working on his weight. So that's really good to see that he had been working on his weight. But, oh, man. We got a lot of work to do. But I think looking at I'll finish with this. But looking at Jared Cole says he lost 20 pounds. Yeah, that is true. He lost about 20. It was about 20, 25 pounds. Yeah. He definitely lost some of that weight. He was like, 350? And he definitely trimmed that down for sure. But I think a couple of things that's really going to account to success for this team to get back on track. Because we have to remember, along with this retooling of the offensive line, we also got to hire an offensive line coach. So I think this is an area we really have to hit hard. 335 pounds. Okay. Yeah, that's a, like I said, 20-pound decrease. That's excellent. But we need to really hit the O-line hard, which means we got to hit the O-line hard on the personnel side and on the coaching side. Rome says, would you like to see Brady Christensen start at left tackle next year? and draft an inside offensive lineman or draft a franchise left tackle? Good question. I will say this. It's going to depend on a few things. I feel like if it gets to pick number 6 in the first round and Evan Neal or Charles Cross is available, I think you got to go hard on picking up one of those two. If they fall, especially if Evan Neal falls to us at 6, I think we should jump on it. Now, if he doesn't fall to us, but there's still like a Charles Cross, I say get Charles Cross. If they're very confident and want to take a shot on the idea of Brady Christensen being the starter, you could possibly consider maybe Ikem Ekwonu from NC State or Kenyon Green from Texas A&M. There have also been a lot of good stuff said about Tyler Lindenbaum from Iowa. So there are options, and it's a problem, but it's a good problem. You know what I mean? Especially with our position in the draft. But I feel like if one of those names is available at that 6th pick, I think we got to go hard. Because we do have to remember, as much as we like, as you know, most of us may like Brady Christensen, he did not play a full season with us at left tackle. So that's another thing to keep in mind. He didn't play a full season with us at left tackle. So something to think about. Jared Cole says, I was just about to say Kenyon Green. Yeah, from Texas A&M. Yeah, I think he would be a great, because, you know, he's versatile. He can play tackle and guard, just like Ekwonu can play tackle and guard. And I believe Tyler Lindenbaum can play guard and center. So I like versatility. I really like versatility. But you know something? I also like competition. I think it'd be good competition for Brady Christensen, which, like I said, in the games that he played left tackle, he did overall pretty well. For the few games that he played left tackle for us, he actually did pretty dang on good. I think that's fair. I think we can all agree on that, right? Deontay Brown didn't really get much of an opportunity until the last game of the season. When he played good. So if anything, getting some competition on this O-line, I think will definitely help and will grant us the assurance that we can build a solid O-line. I still think we should consider going draft and free agency and piecing and retooling this O-line. Because realistically, the only offensive lineman that I feel is 100% safe is Taylor Moton. And this wasn't even it wasn't even his best season. Wasn't anywhere near his best season. But he's the only offensive lineman that I feel is 100% safe. Pat Elflein is iffy. I mean, he did do a better job at center than he did at guard, but he's still kind of iffy. Rome says, I hope we can get Brandon Sheriff in free agency. I would love if we could get him. That would be a big boost to our O-line. That'd be a big boost. But as much as we had a chance last season to draft an offensive lineman, I think we have an even more ginormous chance this upcoming draft to get a good premier offensive lineman. There's really no excuses this time around. Because yes, we could have gotten a Rashawn Slater. You know, we were this close to getting Penei Sewell. But I think with this upcoming draft, we don't have any excuses, y'all. There should be no reason, especially even with this first pick, there should be no reason why we can't secure ourselves our franchise left tackle. The last time we did that, Jordan Gross, and you saw how well he did. So let me remind y'all that Mr. Jordan Gross was a first-team All-Pro, and Mr. Jordan Gross is a 3-time Pro Bowler. Does anybody know the last time Carolina had a Pro Bowl offensive tackle that played left tackle? That's not Jordan Gross. I'll wait. A left tackle that we've had that wasn't Jordan Gross that has played in the Pro Bowl. Romes, thank you, Romes. Never. The only one we've had, Jordan Gross. And guess what? He was a first-round pick, 2003, pick number 8. Why have we not done that again? Maybe this upcoming draft, maybe we should try that again. Maybe we should actually try that again, y'all. It worked with Jordan Gross. Maybe we should try that again this upcoming draft. Like I said, 3-time Pro Bowl. And here's the interesting thing. He has played in 167 games in his NFL career. Guess how many games he started? 167 of them. This man has started every game in the NFL that he has played in. Played and started in 167 games. It's crazy. It's crazy. Lloyd Christmas. Good to see you. Love the name. Dumb and Dumber. Agreed. Evan Neal at 6 would be clutch. Absolutely. Mamba, what's up? Surprised no team is talking to Jim Caldwell. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like we should have been on the phone with him. He started as a rookie in the Super Bowl. Sure did. Sure did. Show enough did. Sadly, Evan Neal will most likely be gone by number 6, but you never know. You never know. That is true. Rome says Marcus Cross is the best pass blocker in my eyes. Neal most best overall. Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's definitely what I've heard. But yeah, it's just like I said, man, like the last time we really went hard first round of the draft and got Jordan Gross, the dude became a freaking 3-time Pro Bowler and a first team All Pro. Like, we got to get back to addressing that O line. Not to mention, I think it's safe to say that Jordan Gross is one of the greatest tackles that we've had in Carolina Panthers history. I mean, are we going to take a chance on somebody breaking that record? I mean, the only other one that comes close is probably Michael Oher, but he didn't play as many years with Carolina as Jordan Gross did. So, got to remember, Jordan Gross was, had a 10-year career with the Panthers. Lord Christmas says, thanks, man. Yeah, Jim Caldwell would be great. Hope we can get Cross or the NC State left tackle if we can't get Neal. Oh, yeah. Ikem Ikwanu from NC State. I think he would be a good option, especially considering he can play both left tackle and guard. So there's versatility there. Gross was a pro's pro. Facts. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I would love to hear this from y'all. There is a lot of mock drafts, which some mock drafts have us going with like a Marcus Cross or offensive tackle. But there's also a handful of mock drafts that have us going either Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett for that first round. How would y'all feel if we actually went with a quarterback in the first round? Jared Cole says no one will ever come near Gross's record. You're probably right. In all honesty, you're probably right. You're probably right. But I mean, like I said, the dude was a beast at his position, and he played his position well. He played his position very well. Jarrett Cole says no quarterback. I hope not, but it is always that possibility. Because I know a lot of the argument is nobody wants to deal with Sam Darnold. I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. Nobody wants to deal with Sam Darnold. I hear you. But I would rather deal with Sam Darnold despite the slim possibility of him having a good season. But I think we could add a little bit more percentage of that opportunity if we had a beefed up O-line that gave him consistent protection. Because from there on out, and then you add in the offensive coordinator, since we're going to be hiring for that, and an offensive line coach, we're going to be hiring for that, then really Sam Darnold definitely doesn't have a single excuse, because he would have what he would need to succeed. Then it's really just on him. Rome says that would be the rule thing to do. You ain't lying about that. Lloyd Christmas says, I'd like Pickett if we lucked up to get a good left tackle in free agency, like Armstead from the Saints. Now, if we were to get something like him or another of equal or greater caliber left tackle in free agency, that definitely changes things up. That definitely changes things up. That could potentially let me paint out this scenario. Let's say we do land a premier left tackle free agency, a good premier left tackle in free agency. What would y'all think about the idea of a first round drafting either one of the offensive linemen for guard, or perhaps taking a chance and getting safety Kyle Hamilton? What are y'all's thoughts on that? What are y'all's thoughts on that? Because I feel like, okay, Rome said he probably would still take O-line. Okay, that's fair. That's understandable. Jarrett Cole said Matt Rule will not get Kenny Pickett because he would say he got small hands. Yeah, what is up with Matt Rule and small hands? Just that, oh, he's got small hands. Brady Christensen has small hands. Well, he hasn't been giving up many sacks. So maybe small hands is the thing to have. I mean, he hasn't really been giving up any sacks. I'm just saying. Coach Rule. I'm just saying. But so Rome's would still go at O-line, even if we were to get a left tackle in free agency, which is definitely fair. Lord Christmas says Matt Rule is in over his head. Oh, way over his head. Way over his head. Oh yeah, that's too true. Too true. And the reason why I say Kyle Hamilton, like, he's another one that's been greatly talked about as pretty much the premier safety to get in this draft. So, you know, a lot of folks very high on Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, but I just really feel like looking at our draft at the draft board, I just really feel like we got to do something to possibly get back a second and third round pick. So, I'll probably do a video on this. I might do a video on this next topic with Mr. Carolina, but I think the main objectives for this offseason for the Carolina Panthers to have a chance at success for next season. Rome says Eagles have three free first round picks. They might look to trade up. Do they really? Oh yeah, you're right. They have the 15th, 16th, and 19th pick in the first round because they acquired two of those picks from Miami and Indianapolis. Ooh, that is a good point. Hmm. Maybe. Well, that's a good point. That is a good point. Lloyd Christmas says trading back and getting any O line help would be a huge win. True, true. But but yeah, that's a good point. And also, yeah, we might want to consider perhaps trying to get one of their picks. Because if we can get two picks in one round, that'll definitely help. If we can get two picks in one round, that will definitely help. But the Jets have our second round pick, and the Jaguars have our third round pick. Yeah, we gotta really we gotta really figure out something. Oh snap! You know what I also realized, y'all? I just realized something. We don't have a seventh round. We actually don't have a seventh round pick, y'all, because we traded it away to Las Vegas. We don't have a seventh round pick. Wow. Hold up. Wait a minute. I also don't see us with a sixth round pick unless I'm missing something. Hold up. Okay. Hold up. Hold up. Because I'm checking out Tankathon. So we have a first round pick, a fourth round pick, a fifth round pick. Oh no, y'all. Uh guys, we only have a first round pick, a fourth round pick, and a fifth round pick. We don't have a second, third, fifth, No, we don't have a second, third, sixth, and seventh pick, y'all. Ooh. 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 Oh, Lord. Dang, y'all. I didn't think it was that bad. That's bad. Unless this wasn't updated. Because I'm looking on Tankathon. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. And they just haven't updated Tankathon. But see, I wish they had a more detailed listing of the rounds. Hey, what's up, Mactown Tony? Rome says we have our 6th and 7th, I believe. According to what's shown on Tankathon, it doesn't look like it. Unless there's something, unless they made a typo or an error. But I don't see Carolina on there. And like I said, we traded away our 7th round to Las Vegas. We don't have a 7th round. We traded it to Las Vegas. So we don't have a 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th round pick, y'all. That's not good. That is not good at all. So, and that just adds another issue, y'all. We got players to trade to get 2 or 3 and 3 round picks. We need to get a 2nd and a 3rd back somehow. Agreed. But yeah, according to Tankathon, y'all, we don't have a 2nd, 3rd, of a 6th, and a 7th round pick. Yeah, we got picks we gotta get back. We got picks to get back, y'all. Whoo, man. Oh, this is going to be tough, y'all. This is going to be really tough. Let me check. Maybe I can look at transactions to see exactly what we did. Let me see. Because now I'm curious. Lord Christmas says, I say we trade back if free agency doesn't go our way. Draft a left tackle or the best offensive lineman available later in the 1st round. Malik Willis in the 2nd, and spend the rest of our picks on O-line. Great stream, by the way. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You think Malik Willis would fall to the second round? You think he would fall to the second round and not get picked up in the first round? Okay. Transactions. Let me see here. Let me see. Trade deadline. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's how we got Stephon Gilmore, Jarrett Cole. We acquired Stephon Gilmore via a trade with New England for that 20. Oh, that's for the 2023 6th round draft pick. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me start from August. Okay, so we got CJ Henderson when we traded a we got a 5th round draft pick and CJ Henderson. We traded away the 3rd round pick. Okay. We got Stephon Gilmore, but we traded away that 6th round draft pick. So that's what it was. That's why we don't have a 6th pick, y'all. Because we gave it to New England when we got Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, that's why we don't have a 6th round pick. Yeah, that's what it is. Wow, that's crazy. Rome's says for me, Tankathon shows us having 6, 105, 142, 147, 185, and 220, 223. So what I currently see, Rome's, I see 6. Yeah, I see 6. I see 105. Yeah, I see that too. I see 142. I see that too. For 147, I see Philadelphia. I see Philadelphia for 147. For 185, I see Houston, who acquired San Francisco's pick. And for 223, I see Cincinnati that has the Giants pick. So I don't know. Like, I've tried refreshing it a couple of times. So I don't know like how often this updates. And then again, it probably won't update until maybe tomorrow. I have to check back. But when you think about it, going through the transactions roams, it adds up. It does kind of add up though, because the reason why we don't have a here, let me go back through it. Because the reason why we don't have a 5th round pick is because we no. The reason why we don't have a 3rd round pick is because we gave up Dan Arnold and the 3rd round pick to get CJ Henderson and a 5th round pick. And the reason why we don't have a 6th round pick is because we gave it away to New England to get Stephon Gilmore. And I don't remember this happening, but apparently Las Vegas, we gave a 7th round pick to Las Vegas, but I do not remember that happening. So if somebody remembers that, let me know, because I sure don't remember that. As you mentioned earlier, drafting Hamilton from Notre Dame would be good. We could drop Jeremy Chin down in the box. It's a waste. The front office got to earn their money this offseason. They got a lot of work to do. Right the wrong Matt Rule has done to this team. And Matt is still the head coach for right now. That's the issue. Facts. Lord Christmas says, drafting O-line definitely number one need, though. Agreed. At least we got a good player for 6. And if we don't keep Stephon, then we get the 6 pick back. At least we got a good player. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Hamilton and Chin. That was 2023 6. Hold on, let me double check. Okay, you're 2023 6th round pick. True. Okay. Okay. So 4th, 5th. Okay, so they haven't updated their that's weird. So they haven't updated Tankathon correctly. So let me set it straight. So I went and selected the Panthers team. So we should have a 1st round pick, fifth. So we do have a 5th round, and we do have the 6th round. Okay, so we do have a 5th and a 6th. Apparently, Tennessee has a 7th. Wait, this is confusing. Yo, booty stank. Hey, so I'm a Raiders fan, and I just seen this on my homepage and don't know how I'm subscribed to you, to be honest. But what's up? Hey, my dad's a Raiders fan. My dad's a Raiders fan, so salute to you. Perryman, a beast for us. Yeah, absolutely. And look how far y'all got. Y'all got into the playoffs. Um, but yeah, so it looks like we do have a fifth and a sixth. They just did not update this correctly. Yeah, they just didn't update this correctly. Oh, Tankathon. But once we do draft the draft video, which I'll probably have to wait until after the Super Bowl to see what the final order looks like and then go from there. Because I'm probably just like this past year, I'm probably going to do another live stream, at least for the first round, and go from there. And Lord Christmas is right. Perryman got traded for not be a rule guy. We need to send rule the fool. Haha, see what you did there. Back to college. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Who you got winning the Super Bowl? Ooh, that is tough. That is really tough because I didn't even. I honestly felt like Dallas was going to pull it off and win today. But now looking at who's advanced, so let's see. Bengals advanced, Bills advanced. Oh, they wrecked the Patriots. The Buccaneers advanced, the Niners advanced, the Chiefs advanced. Honestly, as much as I hate to say this, y'all, as much as I hate to say this, it would not surprise me one bit if the Bucks repeated. And that would make me so furious if the Bucks repeated. I really feel like the Bucks might actually repeat. I hope not. In a weird other world, I would not mind seeing the Bengals or the Bills in the Super Bowl. It would be something different. It would be something we would least expect. But as far as who would win it all, it wouldn't surprise me if the Bucks repeated, y'all. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Because if the Bucks repeat, then that's going to be an even bigger problem for us. Because our schedule is a lot harder next season. A lot harder. Rome says, my dad's a Bills fan, so I'm going for them. Did we trade some kicker for the 6th round and got the 6th round back? I am actually not sure anymore, Jarrett Cole, because apparently this tankathon isn't updating correctly for me, because I know Rome's was saying he has a totally different order. So I'm gonna check back maybe the next day to see if this properly updates, because oh, wait a minute. No, I thought this updated. So far, I just see a first round pick, a fourth, and a fifth. That's all I see for now. But I'll see if it updates. I'll see if it updates tomorrow. The Bucks defense looks nasty at the right time again. It does hurt to say. Yeah, because in all honesty, which I know the Packers are the number one seed on the NFC, the Titans. I don't know how in the heck the Titans are the number one seed in the AFC, but I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens, but I'm gonna be mad if the Bucks. I'm gonna be mad if the Bucks repeat, and if the Bucks repeat, Antonio Brown is gonna probably feel pretty stupid if the Bucks repeat. He's gonna feel really stupid, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. But thank you for the likes, by the way. I got 6 likes. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Offensive coordinator, offensive line, defensive line, special teams. We got a lot of work to do, y'all, in this off season. But we got to start somewhere. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But we're going to have more Carolina Panthers talk. Don't tell me I just hear that Bucks repeat. Dude, it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. I don't want that to happen, but it might happen. They got a good chance of making it happen. Great stream, cool talking, Panthers, man. Have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by, for chatting with me. And like I said, keep on the lookout. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk more about the draft. We're going to talk and see, if we're going to start seeing some of these vacancies filled. And yeah, we got a lot of work to do. But no matter what, keep pounding. It's going to work out. I'm ready. I know this is backwards. I'm ready. But we're going to get through this. 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 Get comfortable. We're going to get through this. But no matter what, keep pounding. Stay positive. Stay warm. And stay blessed. This has been another Carolina Panthers talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Have a blessed week, y'all. And happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I have a dream that one day the Carolina Panthers will finally win the Super Bowl. I'm out.